So I was talking about confusing leverage with action under pressure, or short-term leverage out leverage by long-term leverage. So this is going to be really simple. You take a situation, there is a container for a situation, and you look at your available ingredients to put together to extract some value in this particular situation. Okay, so just visualize what this might be for you. You want to operate in a leveraged way. So you're looking for like maximum bang for your buck, right? You come into this and you're like, okay, the best thing I can do in here is this thing, and it's going to make like 10K. All right. And then you're done. You're done. What that doesn't do is compound into the next thing necessarily. So this is what I mean when I say some people confuse leverage with action under pressure. They look at their container, they look at their situation, and they're like, how do I get leverage from this? And it's actually not true leverage. It's sort of leverage in that situation, but it's sort of also just acting under pressure. It's, when you have limited time, limited resources, limited space to get something done, that often forces leverage in a sense, because you take the shortest, most direct path to get something done. Like if you had no money and you were determined you weren't going to go and get a job, you would look at your list, you would look at who you know, you look at what you have to offer, you would find the shortest, most direct route to extracting value from that. And I get that, like, there are times when that's necessary, and you can't always have the luxury of thinking about leverage things, right? But let's say it's less of an emergency situation. And let's just say you're looking at, a group of people, you're looking at a group of products, I don't know, you're looking at launching a new service, and you want to do that in the most leveraged way possible. Still, the thing that you create might not be done through leverage. It might just being done through squeeze, like pressure, right? Because that is like a one-time event. I look at leverage differently, is that if I'm going to do something, I look at how that thing can compound, because I think compounding is like the ultimate leverage, right? So if I could do the same thing, but I only did it for 5K, but in engineering it at 5K, and depending on what I put into this thing, I can actually go and replicate that, and I can turn that into something which makes then 20K, and then something out of that, which makes like 60K. I've literally just structured this exact type of thing, right? So some people pushed back and said that's not leverage because this is 5K and this is 10K, and this seems like more work, and this is less work. Fine. But if you look at my total, I get 85K total, and I do this over 3 months with a series of events going on here. And I have then something which emerged, right? At the very least, like forget what this is commercially, what it says on the tin, what the product is, it doesn't matter. What emerged here is a model that I proved. And at the end of this, I have proof. I have proof for me, and I have proof to show to the marketplace. So then what I do is I just run this again. So now we made 85K this time. Now we're like, 170K, because we can run this twice. In fact, I can also charge more. So I could maybe, I'm not going to double these prices, but let's say I could be making 170 plus 85K, right? That is applying long-term leverage. Short-term leverage is out-leveraged by long-term leverage. If you're going to make a move here, ask yourself, what is another move I could make that turns this one move in this place and time into a leveraged move over a longer period of time that can yield long-term results that compound? In other words, being leveraged is not being able to find the most leveraged way of doing something in this moment. It's about finding the right way to do something that will bring compounding leverage over a series of moments into the future. So it's a much more weighty decision. It's a much more considered decision. But of course, like I just demonstrated it, the upside is much higher.